Again, and it's that Go Hard or Go Home channel. All right, and I know I've been out for a minute, probably about a week. You know, I'm not me. I already got to take a little time off. I don't do this every day. But I've been binge watching this guy's channel right here. His name is Auston Holleman. Some of y'all probably already know about him. We'll go ahead and maximize him here. All right. I want to talk about this young buck here today because I think he's went on a nice journey as far as from me seeing from his videos and stuff. But he talks about this today in about America being an immature society, and I definitely agree with the guy. All right. So I'm gonna let him say what he was saying, and I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit more about, kind of put some of my stuff on back of it. All right. I think this is a good experience for the guys here in Alpha Squad. If you don't know about Alpha Squad, it's your first time here. We try to solve some of these problems in the manosphere that just can't be solved by most of the people because they're still just talking this smack and not really coming up with a solution. This man has actually gone and done a lot of the work, pretty much all of it. He left. He was in the United States, had the same kind of issues, was depressed, for, you know what I'm saying, kind of like most people in America. Left America, got happy, came back to America, went back into depression, and then he left again. So the man's got quite a story. We're going to listen to him talk a little bit here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think about what he's saying and how some of my experiences kind of in life in general correlate with what he's talking about. I think that every young man should take a trip like this guy's done. We'll talk a bit more about it in the end, but let's get it rolling. So y'all, yeah, this is Auston here. Let's listen to him. I'll listen to the first few minutes of it, but we're gonna watch the whole thing. Let's roll.
I feel like made the States a backwards trip overall for me. Well, number one, it was a feeling of I had extremely outgrown everything that I was used to. For example, the car I was driving. Whenever I got in the car and I started driving around, I thought that I had surpassed myself that I was 2 years ago when I was driving that car. Not something that I thought I would have outgrown, but I felt that I was past the car when I got back in the car. I felt like that was a car for the old Austin. Austin's been getting chauffeured around the world. You know, I haven't drove in 2 years. Now I feel like I've outgrown the car. The architecture, the way how the city, I've been to Buenos Aires, I've been to Romania, I've been to Poland, I've been to Bangkok, you know, I've been to places in Africa, I've been like Kenya, you know, I've been to Salvador Bahia, I've been many places, and I've seen buildings that look very significant. And that draws the entire energy of the city. If you ask me, the architecture draws the entire area of the city. And if you ask me, Dallas has a nice skyline, but when you really look at it, it's just a plain skyline. And after seeing all that I've been seeing, I've been exposed to, I feel like I had really outgrew that city as a whole. I think it wasn't even just American women. I think it was the U.S. as a whole. And I'm going to tell you why here later, not just Dallas. But Dallas, for sure, I had outgrew.
Okay, see, he's coming into it and he's starting to say it. He's starting to already say it, guys. And that's why one thing I keep saying on my channel, it's not just certain cities. It's not just certain places. This is an American problem that these guys have, and it's a culture problem. I'm going to let him finish talking some more. But I lived overseas for years when I was younger. And I also lived overseas as a kid because my mom was in the military. So I got to see what other cultures was like. Let's let it keep rolling, though. We're going to see what we're going to talk about.
Number three, I had outgrew English. I don't only speak English now. I speak Portuguese, I speak Spanish, and English. And to be around people that only speak English, because you guys know for the most part, Americans that live in America, like if you were born in America, more than likely, probably 90% of y'all only speak English. I can't relate with y'all. People that only speak English, I can only intellectually connect with them so much. That does not mean they need to speak Spanish in order for me to connect with them. But what learning another language and self-improving yourself does, a lot of people back home had not did.
This is true self-improvement this man has done. That shit they talk about on the fucking red pill in the manosphere is bullshit self-improvement. Getting a better job. And this man is talking about growing your mind. And this is what I talk about on this channel. The 20%. All right? Because everybody tries to make it be about money. But it's not about money. This shit is about your mind. It's the inside of your mind. Did it grow? You don't have to speak another language to talk to this guy intellectually. I can speak to him intellectually very much, and he could probably keep talking to me on because I've been other places. what I think he's not understanding as a youngster is that the people in America are not cultured. That's why he can't speak to them. I can barely speak to people in America only so far. Only so far, and I'm living here. Because they don't have the same cultured ideas that I have from being around the world and seeing other things. They only understand what's right in front of them, and they don't understand that. Let's keep rolling.
I outgrew the music, the degenerate music that they go play at clubs. See, guys, when we go to Latin America and Africa, they play stuff that you can actually dance to. When you get in the Uber out here, you can actually have a good time just riding in the car.
Hey, I gotta tell you again, the guy's right. When you're in other countries, man, they're not playing that ratchet shit all damn day on the doggone radio like they do in the States. You actually got jams on all day. You're mostly gonna probably hear a lot of older music when you go to other countries because they don't be playing that ratchet junk on the radio, and they might play it every now and again, and they barely probably play it in the clubs. All right, it's the man telling the truth. Let's roll.
You know, when you walk around the malls, you have a good time just being present. The music doesn't make you cringe when you hear it. Nowadays, in the States, whenever you hear music that they play in public places, it makes you cringe. At least for me, the stuff that I hear that the singers are talking about in songs is not appropriate for public. It's actually not appropriate at all.
No.
You know, it's very stupid and ignorant and very low IQ.
Can't
Most
argue.
importantly, the bullshit that people put you through in the States, I've grown past it significantly. You know, people are telling me, "Oh, Austin, you don't have any game. That's why the girls don't text you back." Or you did this wrong, you did that wrong. My thing is this: I've been to too many play. Before I used to play along with the game somewhat. Obviously, I didn't play with them fully because I couldn't stand it. That's why I left. But I've been to too many places, like here in Paraguay, where the thing is just simple. I've been walking around the mall all day, just getting back on my feet. You know, getting my social aspect back. And I think I'm 100% back. Like it feels like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because here, I wish I would have recorded, but I'm talking to these girls for personal interest and not content. But I'll try to get some on video next time. Where I'm just walking up and I just say, "Hello, how are you?" They say, "Good, how are you?" They smile. Their energy is very inviting. You know, they don't give you because you know in the States when I was there, if a chick likes you, she's doing everything to not show you that. Here in Paraguay, it's the complete opposite. Like it's literally the fucking day and night opposite.
He's not lying, and it's not just in. He's in like I think South America or Central America or something like that, but it's just that way in other countries. But in America though, see the thing about America is, that's why I say it's a culture problem. Nobody speaks to you in America unless they want something from you. No, that's really what it is. It's not just the women. Talking to people in general is crazy, and I think he's going to get into that a little bit later. But let's roll with this one. See what you got to say.
I'll tell you guys a story. I was just at the mall with Jason. Jason's here, right? And there we went to Forever 21 because there was a bunch of chicks in Forever 21. So we went in there and we're just walking around. And you guys know I do the double take where I look behind me. I'm watching the room at all times. So I see this one chick sifting through the clothes, and we locked eyes. And the way I could tell by how she looked at me, she was interested. So I spoke. And I said hello, which is hola in Spanish, right? Now, what happens when we say hola? What happens when we say hello in Texas? You guys seen many times on video, we pretty much just got ignored. Pretty much just walk right past us, or they speak back to you. Sorry, it's rainforest rain. They speak back to you, but it's not in the most inviting and pleasant way. It doesn't make you want to continue talking to them. Back to the story. I said, hello, how are you doing? She said, I'm doing good, and you? I walked up and I asked her what her name was. Same lines I was doing in the States. I asked her what her name was. She told me my name, and she said, and what's your name? You see how she's reciprocating what I'm asking her, showing interest, right? But you got dudes in the comments on the last video that's saying, you need to say something a little more clever than what's your name. I don't fucking know you.
See, and I get this. And see, that's a problem with the States. Okay. You got to come up with this corny ass playing a joke because first off, when you're in other places, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. This joker either likes you or they don't. There's no plan, no game to see if they like you or not. That's why the man is having this experience, because in the rest of the world, people are acting normal instead of when you walk up to somebody, you got to try to be a baller, shot caller, all this other good shit. And no, the person either like you or they don't. It's hard to find people in the States that act normal. Or you ain't got to be saying something like they're trying to tell him, you got to say this, you got to say that. Shouldn't be about having to say no certain shit. Basically, when you're meeting somebody, you should be able to say, hey, how you doing, or what's your name? Heck, you got these jokers in the States talking about, don't send me a text talking about what you're doing. You don't know them. So what are you going to talk to them about? People in the States got a really overinflated sense of self-importance and a big ego. But their egos are huge. Even when people in the States are broke, they still got a big-ass ego. That's part of the problem. It's not just the women, it's the men too. That's why I brought up this video right here. I'm going to keep telling y'all that's why I brought up this video. This man's talking about a culture problem. That's the same thing, some of the stuff I be talking about on my channel. Let's roll.
What's wrong with me asking what your name is? So she told me what her name was, and when I shook her hand, this is the little test that I do. I'll hold their hand, and I'll kind of grab it a little tighter to show them that I'm trying to hold it for longer than a normal handshake. And she didn't let go, so I pointed it out. By the way, I never shook any woman's hand in the United States like that. We didn't even get to the point where I could shake her hand. We didn't get to that point. But just by the way. So anyway, I told her, I was like, oh, you don't want to let go of my hand? And she's like, no, I want to keep it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let me get your number so we can keep talking later. Let me get your number. You see how easy that is, right? Because the reason I hold their hand is for obvious reasons.
Just in. The FBI says Chinese hackers are preparing to launch an attack on U.S. infrastructure.
We might have to go inside. The reason I hold their hand is for obvious reasons. Because if she's not into you and you hold her hand, she's going to be like, oh, no. And then I know all I need to know. Then I'll wrap up the conversation. Go. Here, I hold her hand. She holds it. I pointed out that I noticed that she's holding the hand. And she confirms, no, I want to keep holding your hand. So I follow up with that. We're going to have to go inside. I follow up with that by saying, let me get your number so we can talk later. Then I continue to talk to her. She asked where I was from. I asked where she was from. She's from here. And then she held my hand.
Normal conversation. Normal conversation. That's what that is. See, let me tell you something real quick. My first assignment in the Army, when I joined the Army when I was 19, was Germany. I lived there for about 2 years. I got used to women acting normal when you went to talk to them. So when I came back to the States, I had to adapt more in different things and keep it cool, because I'm like, these people ain't normal. It's like, you know, and it wasn't just when I went to Germany. It's when I went and lived in Korea. It's when I went and lived in these other countries and other places. They sent me to other places. And you go talk to people, and you can have a normal conversation with people, just like he's talking about right now. And to him, it seems easy. But after you done went to a couple of countries, other stuff, you just start to understand it's just a culture thing, and people are different in other countries. But let's roll.
And again, before I walked off, and smiled. That simple. There was no pickup lines needed, no game. This game shit, I don't get it. See how easy it is to meet women. And it's not just Paraguay where it's that easy. This is Africa. This is Latin America.
See, now
this is Eastern Europe.
Now he's telling you, you in these other countries, yeah, Africa, all this stuff. I had an African girlfriend like 2 or 3 times when I was in Germany. There was African girls there. You know what I'm saying? And these was fine ass women. They like African girls be fucking fine, y'all. I don't know what y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like the black girls in the States look good, but y'all need to check out them African chicks one time. But the thing of it is like, look, it's gonna be a normal conversation. I especially like the African girls because it was a chance to have a normal conversation with black women without it being this crazy bullshit like in the States that he's talking about right now. And I'm hoping that a lot of y'all guys are going to get the experiences. Let's roll.
The girl I told you I met in Romania. I literally just walked up to her and introduced myself. Went from there. I introduced myself here in the United States. Where does it go? It's not my problem. I'm not there anymore. But I'm just here to compare and contrast with you guys. So that bullshit of you don't have game. When she gets your number and she doesn't text back, do this. It's gonna take you this many weeks. After the date, wait this many minutes to respond to her text. Do this. Rule number 2, rule number 3. Listen, I've outgrown that bullshit. So when I hear shit like that, I look at people in the United States as if they are an immature society. Because they are. Yeah. They are an immature society. I told you guys before, compare a 19-year-old, the mind that a 19-year-old has is the mind that a 9-year-old has in another country. Meaning that the 9-year-old in Brazil is just as intelligent as the 19-year-old in the United States. That's how immature we are.
Let me tell y'all something real quick about what he's saying. I told y'all when I was in Germany and some of the other places, I was like 19, 20 and stuff like that, right? But there was other Americans that was there that was my age too. But they couldn't hang out with the other people, the people from that country that was 19, 20, and 21 years old. They were immature to them. I actually got some points on stuff like this because like, man, you're very mature for an American. The majority of people in the world, y'all, think Americans are flaming freaking idiots. A lot of people don't know this because they ain't left here. But I think this guy's starting to find out. But I'm telling the rest of y'all, and I'm telling Alpha Squad, I'm telling y'all right here on my channel. That's why I keep talking about the maturity thing, the 80%, the 20%. It's a maturity thing. It's about the mind. You could be dumb. You could be the dumb rich, dumb rich, dumb rich. But your ass won't have this part. It's a maturity level. You can have the money and go to other countries and people think you're a piece of trash. You have the money and go there and people think, oh, well, this is a good person. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of money or not. What I find that most of it gets pushed in the manosphere and the red pill is buying people's respect. I think that's what they try to do. But you can't really do that. Anyway, let's roll on right here and see what this guy's going to say.
If you guys have been outside the country, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. We're all adults. We don't. There's no reason for us to play the games that we had to play just to get along and socialize. And I'm gonna get further into the step-by-step process of what was going on. So to say that, I'm saying I outgrew the culture. I'm above the culture. I'm above that. I'm above the games. You can call me arrogant. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it.
Nope.
I really outgrew that. I am actually above the U.S. culture when it comes to intellectual level.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something. As far as my channel, I'm very proud of this young buck right here. If my channel was ever successful, it would have created a bunch of the guys like this guy right here. That's why I'm covering him right now. That's why I'm telling you about him. Why I'm showing you his experience, and I'm telling you how mine was similar. Okay. The only reason I came back to the States because my mom was here. That's it. My family. That's it. My mom died 4 years ago, and guess what I'm planning on doing? I'm in the middle of selling out her estate and selling and probably gonna get rid of this house here too. About $300,000-$400,000 into my pocket and get the fuck on. This is what I'm thinking about. But let's roll on and see what happens.
I'm above that mentality. I don't play games. I don't have time for games. I'm not even good at fucking football. I don't even watch football. What makes you think I play games? Okay. I found some.
Hey, little homie said he quit school because they had recess, y'all. He ain't got time to play.
Women attractive in the States, but again, because of me outgrowing that culture, I felt I had come too far. And honestly, yes, I am above it. And honestly, if you guys travel and you guys actually go live in these places like I have, and you guys experience what it's like to actually be an expat in another country where people grow up and they do things completely different, you will understand how much more logical and how much more happy you will be in another culture. And you will feel like you have outgrown that culture in the United States as well. Some people say it's different in every other state. Everybody I know that's been to more states than I have said the same thing. It's not different. The complaints that you hear me complain about is the same. It might be slightly better, but it's not worth writing a book about. It's not worth getting a passport if you needed one. If Georgia was another country, I don't think it'd be worth getting a passport to go to. If we're looking for a social life, compared to what you can get if you come to Latin America or Africa or Eastern Europe or even Southeast Asia that I've been to. Okay. I don't think it's worth.
Okay. So we heard what the man was saying, and we got that took care of, you know what I'm saying, to make sure here I ain't going to another video. I'm gonna close that bad boy out. Yeah. So look, here's the deal, guys. The man's right. He's telling you the truth, and I think more guys need to move towards getting some more culture. You know, why do I say more guys and not more women? Because here's the deal. Men can go to other cultures and they can adapt to the way of doing that. But the way that the American culture is, I wouldn't send an American woman into the front of no man from the rest of the world. But you're probably going to endanger her. Especially get close to a Spanish dude, they'll smack your ass quick. And they ain't got time for, you know what I'm saying? I was watching this, matter of fact, I got a video on here where there was this show called like 90 Day Fiance the Other Way or something like that, but I can't remember the name of the video that I did, but there was a woman in the video that she'd gone overseas, she'd gotten a passport, went overseas, and she was talking smack about old boy because he didn't have money and stuff, but he still wanted the same respect as a man, and she just couldn't do it. And he was looking at her, like his family even was looking at her like, but you trash. We don't care about your money. You got a certain mentality. The Western mentality, y'all, don't fit with traditional values. That's one thing I want y'all to take away from this video if you're still here. The Western thing don't fit with traditional values. If you're trying to be traditional, you might want to go somewhere else. And also, now you're getting an influx of women from other countries who might have these traditional values, but the problem is if you do this in the States, the American culture got a big habit of rubbing off on people when they get here. So, for my passport bros, drizzle, soft era guys, you know what I'm saying? Take this information and do what you will with it, okay? But you got a kind of a culture problem here. It's one of the reasons why I keep saying like all the talking back and stuff like that don't really work. And next I'm gonna be covering the dude, now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Yeah, single mom dude. And you know what? He's got a good little movement and stuff like that, but it's gonna fall on deaf ears because of the American culture. This man done learned, this young man I just got done covering in this video has learned something that's very valuable. That I think that all young men should try to be endeavoring to learn. And that's like the cultures of the world and the cultural thing that's going on around you. If you want to get better with this thing anyway. But y'all try to come and let me know what y'all thought. I think America's a very childish culture myself. And I've been around the world a little bit myself, and I had the same experience that he has. That's what I think. So y'all try to comment, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all check out the old boy's channel, especially if you're a young buck, you know what I'm saying, trying to, because he's got some steps and stuff like that. He's going through a process right now. So that might be good for you. So check it out, young buck. Y'all check me out for more info about things like this. Hit like, subscribe, share, join the channel, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm out of here on this one. This is Taurus Diners that Go Hard to Go Home channel. Peace.